I remember a time when a close friend of mine would suffer from relentless stress, moving from one treatment to another, seeking a way out. It wasn't until he stumbled upon the wisdom of Ayurveda that his journey of healing truly began. And listeners, I can relate to my friend as well, because for me also, the problem of migraine was resolved after multiple and countless trips to doctors when I was just 4 years old. I was diagnosed with migraine, and there was no way out when Ayurveda came to my rescue. And today, we delve deeper into the world of Ayurveda. And with us is someone who has dedicated 15 years of helping people find their healing path, Dr. Rahul. Dr. Rahul is an expert in treating migraines, gut health, and mental health, and has made it his mission to bridge the gap between ancient Ayurvedic knowledge and modern day health solutions. Listeners, welcome to We Are Listening, and Dr. Rahul, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pulkit.
Dr. Rahul, why don't you share your, introduction with our listeners and the journey of 15 years and what inspired you to get into the field of Ayurveda?
Okay, so that's a very interesting question. So just to introduce myself, my name is Dr. Rahul Marwah, and I'm based out in Mumbai and Rajkot. I've been practicing since last 15 years, and I have a personal mission to make the world a medicine-free world with the power of Ayurveda. We always say India is the disease capital, diabetes capital, and all, but I wish to change the perspective. I want India to become the health capital of the world. And for that, I am working constantly since last 15 years. I train doctors. I speak a lot with my patients. I always say it's the verbal anesthesia that I have to keep giving them, assuring them that, okay, things are getting better and it will get better. That's all because I know they can heal themselves. Your body can heal yourself. All a doctor has to do is has to just help your body to ensure that it takes the necessary steps. Your body takes the necessary steps, but while doing so, I also feel that we all also need to stay healthy. And how it has changed my personal life, I always wish it changes everybody else's personal life. So the question comes, how did I get into Ayurveda? So just to give you a brief up, like every other student who aspires to be a doctor, I personally wanted to become a plastic surgeon. So from eighth standard, I was very fascinated with surgeries and everything, but the destiny had a different path for me. So when I went to the admission round process and everything, I got into Ayurveda. And when I got into Ayurveda for the first 6 months, it was very difficult. Being from a convent background, not being too, you can say, very fluent in Sanskrit or something, everything here was in Sanskrit. Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, that was the combination. So I could not take a hold of it. And at that time, the best part was we had a serial running on Doordarshan, Shaktiman. So how you have those five elements he speaks of, the same five element we used to learn in a course as a basis of basics of Ayurveda. So I used to think, Ayla, Shaktiman ka episode मेरे को पढ़ना पड़ने वाला है. So I used to feel, अरे यार कहाँ आके फंस गए and all those things. But it so happened that around I took admission in somewhere around July, and in December we had a you can say a conference in Nanded. So during this conference, what happened? We were the youngest 11 people who had registered for the conference because we were like, चलो घूम के आएंगे मजा आएगा and those sort of things. So we thought कि चलो जाके आते हैं. So when we went there, there was a overall scenario where the speaker would be speaking. Inside, they used to demonstrate some panchakarma activities. I'll tell you about panchakarma later, but these are all techniques with which we detoxify your body, heal your body, and all those things. So he used to speak on that the forum. Sorry, on the dais, the speaker used to speak, and these people used to demonstrate inside, okay, how we need to do things, how other things. So it so happened that a farmer came. He must be around 45 at that time. He came and he asked somebody that I want to meet that speaker. The speaker was P.T. Joshi, or we call him Nana Joshi. So he was a very senior Ayurveda practitioner based out in Dhule, and he was the, you can say, the godfather of Ayurveda at that time. So somebody came and he said, "Okay, I want to meet that person." So they said, "No, you don't cannot meet. You have to come for the OPD, and they will say." He said, "No, no, I have been told by somebody that I want to meet this person." And because there was some disturbance, then everybody started seeing who's that guy and all. So Nana said, "Okay, send him." So he said, "Okay, I have come from so and so place, and my 9-year-old daughter has suddenly lost her vision, and I've been to Pune in last 15 days. All the doctors are saying that she won't be able to get her vision back." So Nana said, "Okay, call her." So he called her, and every conversation was in Marathi. I'm just giving you just in English. So he asked, कि बेटा इधर आओ, what's your name, how old are you, what do you do? And he said, what, are you able to see anything? He checked her vision. So she said, no, I cannot see nothing as such. So he said, since how long are you not being able to see? She said, around 15-20 days. And then, was it a sudden incident? She said, no, yes, it was suddenly. In the morning I started losing vision, and by afternoon it was completely gone. So he said, okay. He then took her inside into the demonstration room. He said, let's try if we could do something. So he took her inside and he asked, Beta, what do you like to eat? He said, bhakri and thecha. Now, for those who don't know, it's bhakri is jawari roti, and thecha is only green chilies, some peanuts, salt, and a huge quantity of salt that is eaten by a poor person in India, especially to fill their tummies, and it's very spicy, very salty. So sabji ki zarurat nahi rehti hai. It's only this that they eat food with. So he's asked her, "Kitni quantity khate?" So she showed a big chunk. "Okay, I eat this much." "Roz khate?" She said, "Yes, I eat daily." She said, "Okay." So what he did was he just made her lie down, and then there is something known as jugular vein. So in Ayurveda, we have certain points from where you can do bloodletting as a therapeutic way to get cured. So all he did was he just inserted a needle in that jugular vein, and hardly it would be 1 second or fraction of a second that after the blood started coming out, she started screaming, "Baba Mala diste, Baba Mala diste. Dad, I can see, Dad, I can see now, I can see now." And all 2,500 people, we were totally awestruck. Because आयुर्वेद में भी ऐसा हो सकता है. It's possible with Ayurveda. And that was the day, it was a turning point of my life. I always love to share these incidents with doctors because, like, how it changed my life, I want people's life to be changed because we always have a conception that Ayurveda is very slow, it takes longer time to get results. But this very instance, in front of my eyes, even today as I speak, I have goosebumps on my body because I've seen that. So that one moment changed my life, and it said, boss, there is something in Ayurveda. All I need to do is I need to explore it. I need to find out who these people are, what they do, how they do. Because even I, as a young person, had a notion कि यार आयुर्वेद में क्या होगा, general practice ही करेंगे. But at that point, I realized no, there is something very big in Ayurveda, and by God's grace, this was in 2001 when I saw this incident. Today it's 2024. I've been devoted my life to Ayurveda since long. I have learned under the best of the best teachers in Ayurveda. Around 13 people I have learned Ayurveda. So I love to go there. I love to learn something from there. And every once a year, I go somewhere. Before the lockdown, my whole strategy was every year go somewhere for 2 days, 3 days, learn something, practice it. Once you are mastering it, then go again, understand whether you are doing it properly, and then come back and it's done. So that is how I've been doing things. And with God's grace, it's going good. Rest is my patients who would be a testimonial whether I'm a good or bad doctor. But by God's grace, everything is taken care of.
You answered most of my questions because my next question was gonna be where we would have talked about the time taken for Ayurveda to show its impact. And with the story that you shared, it clearly, sends the message that if we understand Ayurveda properly, there are quick results as well. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, totally. I'll give you an idea. In Pune, there are many hospitals, Ayurveda hospitals, privately run, where they manage critical conditions. So there have been instances where there has been an accident and they have taken them to an Ayurveda hospital to get it managed. I have seen that with my own eyes. So it's not that only thing is the perception of the people is that Ayurveda is very slow. Ayurveda has too many things to do. But all we need to understand Ayurveda has one basic principle. Your body is going to heal yourself. All I have to do is I have to give you support. So for that support, whatever things are needed to be taken care of in terms of your panchakarma, in terms of your diet, in terms of your medication, that you need to follow. Only then it would be happen. I cannot do a surgical intervention and just finish it off. For me, Ayurveda or for Ayurveda, it's always a physiological intervention. So that's the basic difference between Ayurveda and allopathy. Allopathy goes for the structural or the anatomical aspect of everything.
Mhm.
They define structures, they define morphology and everything, and then at the end of the day, because it's an abnormal structure, they cut it via surgery. On the contrary, Ayurveda says whatever is happening because of your problem. So that core problem is three dosha, three dhatu, three dosh, sapta dhatu, and teen mala, or these 13 elements, and the 14th being your digestive power. From these 14 metabolic things, your physiology is hampered because of something, and now you are ill. Even if it's an external trauma, initially it would be a structural damage leading to physiological damage. And therefore, if you see an Ayurveda thing, even though Ayurveda is said, I mean, there are acharyas who are the father of plastic surgery, Acharya Shushruta, if you know.
Yes,
He's
yes.
a yes, he's the father of plastic surgery. Even the cataract operation mentioned in Shushruta Samhita was actually practiced for a very long time until this phaco and laser came into picture. So everything what they could do surgery also, they could avoid surgery also. And they had given a very clear marking where you need surgical intervention, where you need medicinal intervention. Even the books have stated that after this, if you don't get result, it's a surgical intervention that you need to do. So they were very crystal clear in whatever they wanted to say. Now, the thing is, people, because it's a very big time gap, I mean, they were written 4,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. What they meant to say, we cannot understand because we have a different perspective right now. So, all you need to do, as somebody who wants to learn Ayurveda, go 4,000 year back, understand the scenario, understand what they were doing, take that principle and come back. So that would be the easier approach to understand what Ayurveda meant to say. Okay. So
Yeah.
therefore, it becomes easy to understand if you just understand the timeline and the things that were there. And to give you a very interesting fact, right now, since last 7 or 8 years, even allopathy has come up with something known as functional medicine. Everything that is mentioned in Ayurveda, they have just taken it, copy paste karke. They have just changed the terms. It's just a layman approach that I'm saying you. But what they
Mhm.
have done is whatever we used to say, okay, your dosha, your metabolism, your digestive system, your gut, and everything, they have just taken all those things and started a new branch known as functional medicine. And now, people, if you go on the internet, you will find multiple people preaching functional medicine. So what we said in Ayurveda, now they are taking it, even though they will not agree directly, कि it is from Ayurveda, but whatever they say, whatever I have heard from all these Instagram and YouTube videos, I understood that they have just taken whatever we said in Ayurveda. So somewhere everybody understands that you cannot always go for only surgical interventions. There has to be a medical intervention or physiological intervention also.
Yep, yep. I totally, in my experience in last 5 years since I've been working in this field, I have come across a lot of cases, where Ayurveda has though been the last approach where, modern medicine has given up and then people have resorted to Ayurveda or naturopathy and they have found better results. They have been able to recover. So,
Yes.
you know, Again, as per me, I believe Ayurveda or any other natural healing remedy should be the first approach. And if you are not able to find a solution, then you should be going to modern medicine. What's your thought on that?
Totally agree on that. Because most of the time now you don't need such higher level things or interventions to take place. It's only the fear that people have, or being set up in the market, that if you don't go you will only die, and all those kind of scenario will happen. But if you understand that, okay, if I have something basic, like I'll give you a very simple example. During the COVID period now, everybody was in a mess. Okay, so anybody who could get any kind of medicine, he used to take it. Okay, because everybody had that one thing, I need to recover as soon as possible. For those who were asymptomatic now, even if they did not, they were given some medicines from allopathic side. Even if they did not take it, they just took simple Sitopalati or something basic Ayurveda medicines. Even they came out of it. So everybody, even though it was a very big situation, but for asymptomatic, minor symptoms and everything, it could be managed with Ayurveda. I mean, the Department of Ayurveda had issued guidelines on the medicines that you can take for X and Y problems and everything. They had given guidelines. Okay, you can buy this, take this, because we understood one simple thing. Even though it's a pandemic, again, your body is all made up of these elements. इसी में कुछ गड़बड़ हुई है. We need to resolve it. As simple as that. In that
Just
way.
to share on this, Dr. Rahul, there was an Ayurvedic doctor from Pune itself, and
Uh-huh.
Dr. Siyok Kumar Bhavre. He created a
Okay.
drop, and my family used it throughout the pandemic. And it was because of the nasal drop or because of the regular, inhalations that we were doing, the steams we were taking. None
Correct.
of us had an episode of COVID throughout those 3 years. I'm not sure it was God's grace or whatever, but yes, we were very regular in consuming
Regular.
nasal drop. It was made through the Ayurveda principles, and
Correct.
he made very small batches. But wherever he was able to, send those nasal drops, we saw
Mm-hmm.
really stark differences either in the recovery period. A lot of my friends also, I just recommended them, why don't you try this? It has been helping me, and they tried it. Even
Correct.
if they had COVID, they were able to have a faster recovery. So
Yes, yes.
he is in the process of getting the FDA approvals and patent for that formulation.
Okay.
And his inhalation drop has already gotten the FDA approval, so that's already out in the market,
Acha.
and the nasal drop is in process. So we did try to reach out to Ayush Ministry at that time, but could not find the right channels to get the approvals for it or the required trial parameters. Uh, but
Uh-huh.
that nasal drop really did wonders for us.
Yeah, there are so many instances. I mean, if you really see now, okay, I mean, this your doctor being one of those examples. Everywhere around India, now you will find such interesting cases, such interesting things that doctors could give their patients, and everybody got cured. The whole point is very simple. These pathies, I mean, natural ways and Ayurveda and all those things really help people. And to be very honest, this was the main laying foundation of Ayurveda getting a good recognition in the market. Because before 2020 and post 2020, there is a stark difference in the approach, or you can say the faith that people have with Ayurveda. Because initially it was a struggle, now it's a smoother ride, because people know, they saw that effect, like how you shared this experience. Now because of that, even your friends would have a positive attitude towards Ayurveda. It will affect us, it will give a good result to us. Otherwise people were skeptical कि नहीं कुछ नहीं होने वाला, आप लोग तो सिर्फ बोलते हो, kind of scenario. We had to face that. But today it's a totally different ball game. All thanks to whoever did their part. All thanks to them, the credit goes to them.